Right cage side calling the fight. Also on the 21st, Genesis Fight League live from the Gibraltar Trade Center in Mount Clementz, and Ground and Pound is also having fights that night. It will be tape delayed and rebroadcast basically the next night in Owasso, Michigan. So you'll get a chance to see that. But don't forget, always try and get a chance if there's a fight near you. Check it out on cagefightinglive.com. You can find out where the events are and be a part of the show. Come on in and watch the fights live. We are ready for our second title fight of the night. This is for the 145-pound belt. Making his way into the cage, Chad Robinson, 6-2, representing Team Blood Rush. Nice name. Yeah, really. It sounds like a Viagra fight name. Team Blood Rush.
For this title fight, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mike Hamida.
All right, Mike coming in here 10-2, and I'm actually surprised he has even 2 losses. I've had a chance to see Mike fight. Very fast-paced, high intensity, strong wrestling background out of Grand Rapids, and he represents Grand Rapids MMA. Coaches James Jones, Johnny Grigwood, and Caleb Grummett, and a lot of us have seen Caleb fight pro boxing and pro MMA. He hasn't fought since December 8th, but won by a triangle choke. He knows that his opponent, Chad Robinson, in the cage right now is a brawler. Chad says that he's basically a wrestler. He's been training for 3 years, born and raised on a farm. Oh, you know those farm boys, they have that strength. Wrestling.
They love to bring it, for sure. They'll throw some bombs.
Wrestling and farm boys, that's the combination for some strength in there. Vengeance is a big sponsor of Michael Hamida. He's coming in with a boxing and football background. He's a very well-rounded fighter.
I've had the pleasure of seeing him fight quite a few times. And
pleasure is the perfect word, Shay. That is the perfect word of watching him fight. You guys don't go anywhere. We have 6 more title fights, this being one of them. This is for the 145-pound belt. So you or someone you know fights at that weight, you got to check this out and see if you can take any of these guys. Maybe you can be a top contender coming in and try and steal their belt. Chad pacing, trying to wait patiently. Chad in the black spandex, Michael Hamida on his way in. He's called the Shocker with lime green. What is with this color lately? Do you see cars everywhere? You're wearing lime green too. Have you seen all the cars everywhere, sports cars? They're all this color.
Lime green is pretty subtle for this guy too. I've seen him come out sporting the real tight, real short pink boxing shorts before too.
I'm glad he decided to pass on those tonight.
Me too.
You too. You can wear whatever you want when you know that you can kick butt.
Yeah, if you can back it up, do whatever.
Exactly. Let's go up to Michael Corwin in cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a title fight for the 145-pound TWC belts. Let me introduce first to my left, fighting out of the red corner. He is from Marcellus, Michigan, representing Team Blood Rush. Your contender, Chad Robinson. His opponent standing to my right from Grand Rapids, Michigan, representing Grand Rapids MMA and True Grit Fight Team. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Hamida!
Referee Joel Chapman is going to give the final instructions.
All right, this is a 5-round title fight. Keep it clean, no big man all the times.
Referee for this title fight is the Little Juggernaut. This bout is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds.
We're back down to 5 threes. Okay, we'll see if this one actually makes it out of the first round. Oh, you know,
nice double leg takedown, quick.
Smart move by Michael too. When you see someone coming at you wild, you don't want to even stand in there because by chance you may get taken.
Slam right up against the cage.
Hamida showing his strength right away. Chad fishing for that armbar. Looking for the triangle choke, Chad Robinson. You know, surprising to see some of these moves since he does have a wrestling background. Wow. That is a massive victory.
I would call that an upset.
That is a massive upset. As we said, those farm boys, man, you got to watch that strength. Really surprised to see him fish for a triangle choke and then turn it into an armbar, you know, with him being more so a wrestling background. He moves to 7-2 and picks up the 145-pound title fight, and Michael Hamida and his corner just completely shocked. I'm sure the crowd really surprised too, because as you said, we both seen Michael Hamida fight, and there's no short fights unless it's going with this hand up in the end of it. I think so far we've seen 2 upsets at the title fights tonight. So for those of you out there betting, not saying it's legal or anything, but out there betting, maybe some surprises.
Your winner coming at 35 seconds of the first round by way of triangle armbar and new TWC champion, Chad Robinson!
Well, I guess we're 1-1 for the Mohawks for the title fights.
A triangle armbar, maybe a little bit of a hybrid submission there, I guess.
Man, and that's the crazy thing. You train all that time. I don't mind having a fight end in 30 seconds as long as I'm on the winning end of it after doing all that work. You know, and it was to see Michael's takedown too, you know, and slam. And the thing is, Chad just stayed totally relaxed in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Corey Wirtz. He is the next contender for Chad's brand new belt. How about a round of applause for these two? You'll see them in the cage very, very soon.
Remember, we got a chance to see Corey Wirtz earlier tonight taking on Marcus Petiprin and made quick work of Petiprin. He went that second round and totally figured him out, and they stopped the fight. Once again, he's not getting a chance to see very much of his opponent. What was it, 34 seconds?
34 seconds.
Big surprises for Mike Hamida as well.
Another title fight, Lansing. Scream! This next title fight is for the heavyweight TWC title. Introducing first, your red corner fighter, ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Duncan.
Just to go back to that last fight just for 1 second, Chad picking up the victory, Chad Robinson. And the great thing about this title that he won, he says, I beat Michael Hamida. You know what I mean? We're not talking about a title fight where you fought somebody off the street or you fought somebody with a 500 record. You're talking about you beat a great fighter, a 10-2 fighter who has got a great background. And so that feels even better when you pick up that hardware.
Especially to make such quick work of him. I mean, no, I don't think anybody could have seen that coming.
Yeah, I know, you're still shocked. All right, and we're already moving on to our third title fight. We had 7 total. We're on number 3 right now, and the big boys making their way into the cage right now.
I've got my eyes on this one.
Oh, yes, you're the heavyweight. And let's get it. Hope you get a chance to see more than 34 seconds.
Yeah, these 5-round fights, and not even going past a minute.
I know, not so far, I know. Surprising stuff. Well, we have Thomas Duncan making his way in. He is the Tornado. 26-12. So been in the cage quite a few times. He's a boxer out of Fort Wayne. His gym is called Hollywood. And, you know, he fought in April, so not too long ago, April 26th. So he knows that his opponent is a big guy, and you know, apparently they're friends, and they said they're friends, but right now it's go time. And I think that's the mistake that they made earlier with Nathan Long and Eddie Temez, was just they're a little too friendly in there.
It's about the hardware.
Title fight. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the blue corner, Joe Clementz.
Joe Clementz coming in 6'6". I mean, we've got some big boys. Luckily, no chandeliers in the middle of this cage tonight, because we are at the Causeway Bay Hotel in Lansing, a beautiful ballroom that we have. Joe Clementz coming with an undefeated record, so he hasn't had a chance to see defeat, and he's hoping he doesn't see it again tonight. 5-0, 2 decisions, so he has actually had a chance to go 3 rounds, and that was some of my concerns for some of the fights tonight. The guys fighting for titles had never gone the distance, and I asked all of them, I'm like, dude, are you ready for 5 rounds? You have never gone 3.
I don't know if there's really a way to be ready for 5 rounds.
Yeah, true. A lot of long drills in the gym.
Especially being a heavyweight, you don't see that very often. The heavyweights going the distance.
Yeah, true. Good point. He is representing Camp Tisdale and Gladiator MMA out of Ohio, Continental Ohio. He started it with jits, and he's been in a few tournaments. He says, I only have 4 stripes on a white belt, but still, at least it shows that you're putting in your time and you're learning along the way. You got to start with the basics. Some guys learn some complicated moves, but they don't know how to get there. The transition is what is the key to this game. Learning how to get to that position.
Being a heavyweight with a little bit of wrestling jits, that's helpful, because most times guys come in just swinging for the fences. If you can take him down and do something there, it's helpful.
You know, and I think that's what we saw in the last fight with Mike Hamida. I mean, he went for the takedown because Chad was starting to swing wild, and you don't want to get into, you know, a toe-to-toe battle that's not straight punches, it's just all over the place. So we're going to get the official introductions with Michael Corwin.
TWC Heavyweight Championship. Introducing to my left, fighting out of the red corner, he is from Benton Harbor, Michigan, representing Team Hollywood, weighing in at 258 pounds, standing 6'6" tall. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Duncan. His opponent to my right, fighting out of the blue corner from right here in Lansing, Michigan, representing Gladiator MMA and Camp Tisdale, weighing 263 pounds, his height 6'6" tall. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Clementz!
Joel Chapman with the last-minute instructions.
Heavyweight title, 5 rounds. Obey me at all times, touch gloves if you want to.
That's what women should be able to say to their husbands and boyfriends. Obey me at all times. Go to your corner. All right, so look for Thomas, who's in the brown trunks, to start with a jab, because in boxing you have a tendency to set things up, and Joe wanting to get underneath that and get down to the ground. Looking for the head movement is Thomas, but he's got to watch going straight back. You can't pull yourself so far out of range that you can't fire either. Great leg kick. Have them concerned about the ground, and you can come over top with some shots.
Throwing some big hands.
Yeah, but looking to the ground, I mean, it's really hard to land something when you're not even looking at your opponent, looking at the target. He can try and double up that jab, too. You're seeing Joe keeping his hands up nicely, which is very smart of him, knowing you're coming in there with a boxer, so to speak. Look at how he fires that right hand back when he jabs. He's got to keep that close to his chin, because someone could come over top of that jab with an overhand right. Oh.
Incidental contact to the groin.
AKA nut shot. Take a little second, and we're going to see if he can come up, get up for that.
No
I can't even imagine.
I can attest.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I think sometimes fighters get up too quickly, too. It's more of the pressure from the crowd.
You get 5 minutes to recover. I take it.
But that's the problem. You've got to fight the urge to get up, because the crowd's kind of forcing you to take that time. I don't know what it feels like to get hit in the kahunas.
You don't want to.
No. I mean, an ovary shot would be bad.
Yes.
I could do without that. But Joe's going to take his 5 minutes. Hopefully things will settle down in there.
My advice is to take all 5 minutes.
Yeah, you don't want to come back in and have any excuses. You want to come back full force. And we're going to see Joe coming back in with that jab again. And for those of you got to learn how to counter a jab. That's your best way to defeat somebody who comes in with a jab first. Don't let your hands hang out there too long either. Jab and pull it right back. Keep that right hand tight to your face.
Lots of feeling out here.
I like Joe's eyes. He's keeping them wide open. You got to take a look at the hands. Don't always watch the other person's eyes. Watch where their hands are going. Watch their feet. Get a chance to see everything.
Keep the hands up there.
Joe going for the body shot. Joe is in the green trunks. Joe Clementz in the green trunks. Thomas Duncan up against the cage in the black/brown trunks.
Looks like both guys want to keep this one up.
I guess as a heavyweight, you know that you could do some serious damage on your feet. He's connecting with that jab, but that's the thing. It's a measuring stick.